Hey guys, today we're going to break down 4 things you need when starting out in the content game. These will be in order, and I'll break down my opinions on each thing and then give some options. Now, I'm not sponsored by Sony, but I've only ever used Sony, so I can't really speak to any other brands. But to be completely honest, it doesn't really matter that much, as all the brands have upped the technology in the cameras, and at this stage, it's pretty much up to the user. So, as always, use the timestamps and let's get into it. So the first one, pretty obvious, and that's a camera. Now this is probably the most requested thing in my DMs on Instagram. What camera should I buy? And to be honest, it really depends. Like, think about what you want to do. Do you want to take photos and videos of your family? Be a filmmaker, photographer, content creator, or just build your own personal brand? This is what you first must ask yourself. Someone who just wants to take videos and photos of their family, but wants to take it to the next level, I would honestly still just use your phone, download the Blackmagic camera app, and learn all of the different camera settings to dial those videos in. Then, if you find you really enjoy that sort of finicky stuff to get a good image, you can upgrade. But just realize, using a camera is way less convenient. You have a heap more settings and buttons. You can't just edit the clips straight away like you would on your phone. You'll have to get the clips off your camera before you can start editing them. Like it's a lot more work. Then we have someone looking to get into content creation. You want to learn how to make reels for clients, some professional work, or even build your own personal brand like me. A cheap option would be like the Sony EV10 II, or a little bit more expensive, but still cheaper, the Sony A6700. Solid cameras, they do photo and video. Some cons of these cameras, they are crop sensor cameras. They lose a little bit of depth of field because of the crop. They are geared more towards casual shooters, so they lack some of the pro features like dual card slots. They don't have as many buttons and dials. I'm not going to mention, say, low light as big of a con these days, because I think pretty much all of the newer cameras, the sensors do well, even APS-C in low light. Now, some pros are they're lightweight, easy to carry around and set up. The APS-C lenses are heaps cheaper than full frame. These are good options for doing paid work or building your own personal brand. Now for general content creation, these are perfect options. It's honestly just how much you want to spend. If you think the first options are too expensive, I know it's a lot of money. That's why I think you need to think whether you want to do this seriously or not. If not, or if you're on the fence, I think you should just use the Blackmagic app and utilize your phone to its full capability. Now, I haven't recommended anything above the A6700 price, because I think once you know you want to commit, then you can go and buy something like an FX3, A7S III, or like an FX6, even an A7 IV. And then your A6700 or your EV10 Mark II would be the perfect B cam. Like, you haven't lost out, really. You know what I mean? This is just my opinion. Now, the second thing on the list, obviously we need something for our sensor to capture, so a solid lens option is key. Now you got 2 options, a good zoom or 1 or 2 primes. Honestly, when you're starting out, you can't go wrong with a good zoom lens. In my opinion, something like a Tamron 28-75 is a solid option. This is what I used when I first started out, and man, it got me through so many shoots. Like, I shot so many different types of videos, and I think that's important to sort of find what you're interested in, is to be able to shoot heaps of different things. And this lens definitely helped me to do that, because it covers so many bases with the wide focal range, and then the constant 2.8 aperture means it was doing well in low light. Another new one that's sort of recently come out will be the Tamron 17-70, and again, constant 2.8 aperture. These are just solid, like, budget lenses for beginners. Now, just one thing to note about these, a con with using lenses like these is that they're not weather sealed. So, if you're shooting out in the rain or you're in a pinch like that, like, you could damage your lens, because they're sort of, they're only made of plastic. They're not really fully weather sealed. So just something to note when you're looking at getting one of these lenses. Now, the third thing on the list is solid audio. You can go one of 2 ways. Well, eventually go both, but either get a solid shotgun mic or get a set of wireless lavs. Here's where I went personally. I bought a shotgun mic first. If I had my time again, I would probably grab some wireless lavs. The reason being, they're a lot more versatile. Like, I'm thinking more that you might need someone talking in your videos, so you can mic the talent up, or you're building a personal brand, you can just mic yourself up, obviously. If you grab a shotgun first, then you're stuck with having the mic on your camera, which is good, but it won't isolate the spoken audio as well as if you had someone mic'd up. Then if you were shooting something like in a stadium and you wanted some ambient noise from the crowd, like your camera's audio would probably be good enough, or just chuck your wireless lav on top of your camera setup. Like, you know, it's not that big of a difference, I think. And I think the pros of the wireless lav outweigh the pros of the shotgun mic initially. Now, I'm assuming if you've got to the stage where you're going to try and buy some audio gear, that you would be a little bit more serious. So I wouldn't muck around. I would just go for the best of the best, like either the Rode Wireless Pro or the DJI Mic 2. So I personally use the Rode Wireless Pro mics. I had the original Rode Wireless Go, but these ones, they blow them out of the water, like big time. The biggest addition for me is the 32-bit float audio, and I've set these so that as soon as I pull them out of the box, they start recording internally before it's even plugged into the receiver. So you have this constant backup audio file. So even if I unplugged it from my camera, this would still be recording a 32-bit float audio file. Like, it's a game changer. I'll do a separate video on these and the features, but if you want to pick them up, links in my bio. So the fourth and final piece of the puzzle is a cage. Now, I'm assuming if you've bought your camera, you bought your lens, bought your audio, that you're, you know, committed to this now. So a cage is going to allow you to level up. Basically, as well as protecting your camera, it allows you to mount, you know, more stuff to it and sort of upgrade your camera. I personally use SmallRig and Falcam cages. I've got the A7S III using the Falcam cage and my A7 IV using my SmallRig cage. And basically, you know, you can add, you know, mounts for your V-mount batteries, your monitor up top, top handle, your mic holders. You know, it basically does all that stuff. And yeah, I think it's a crucial part as well. And I've left it as number 4 because I think that's the next stepping stone to sort of getting more serious. Anyway, that's my top 4 pieces of gear for beginners. You know, these are just my opinions. I'd love to know what you guys think. Would you have changed anything? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.